Welcome to Get the Comics. Today we will compare the Amazfit Band 7 with the Mi Band 7 and Huawei Band 7 so you can decide which one is best for you. They all have similar features and their prices are not too different from each other. First, let's talk about the design. For size and weight, please refer to the written product information. This white or beige Amazfit Band 7 is like a combination of Mi Band and Huawei Band. In terms of shape and size, it is similar to the red Huawei Band 7. However, its strap design is similar to the brown Mi Band 7. Among the three, Huawei Band 7 is the most comfortable to use for several reasons. First, Huawei Band 7 is the thinnest. Its sensor design is also more evenly distributed. Meanwhile, the sensor design of Amazfit and Mi Band are more protrude. Secondly, the strap of Huawei Band is softer than the other two. You can also see the strap design of Huawei Band 7 here, which appear to be tapered inward. This makes it more comfortable to wear and prevents it from leaving dot marks when worn tightly, as in the case of Mi Band and Amazfit Band. Third, the range of wrist sizes that the Huawei Band 7 can fit is greater, making it suitable for people with both large and small wrists. Especially for women with small wrists, it is recommended to buy Huawei Band 7. The Mi Band and Amazfit Band have limitations due to their strap locking design, which means that the strap size cannot be too small as it will stuck in this part. As you can see, both the Mi Band and Amazfit Band cannot be worn by my female friend who is 160 cm tall and weighs 40 kg. They are too loose and we cannot add more holes as it will stuck on the buckle anyway. But if she wears the Huawei Band 7, it fits snugly enough. Lastly, and I always repeat this, the strap design of the Mi Band and Amazfit Band are less secure because it can come off if it hits some object. In the comment section, someone gave a tip to make it more secure by reversing the way the strap is attached. So first we reverse the pin, then reverse the way the strap is attached. So the part that locks in is inserted inward, like an Apple Watch. And this is indeed more secure, but it is more troublesome to use. On the Amazfit Band 7, when the strap was reversed, the pin was too short, so it couldn't lock properly. This is because the strap design in this part. Well, if you can find a workaround, it might be possible. On the other hand, the advantage of the design of Mi Band and Amazfit Band straps is that they wrap around the side of the body, so if you change the color of the strap, it looks great. While if you change the strap on the Huawei Band 7 to a different color, it will not match its red body color. In conclusion, in terms of design, the Huawei Band 7 is the most comfortable and secure to use, and for people with small wrists, it is recommended to use the Huawei Band 7. Moving on to the screen, in terms of quality and brightness, all three are equally good because they all use AMOLED screens. Yes, there are minor differences, but to me, when viewed directly, the differences are not noticeable. The Amazfit Band 7 watch faces are not much, especially if compared to the other two. It feels so few. Huawei Band 7 offers both free and paid watch face options. Even though some are paid, I still like them because they are not too expensive and the paid ones generally have better quality. But you can get many good free watch faces too. For custom watch faces that use photos, Huawei can use 5 different photos and we can change the photo by tapping on the screen, while the other two only can use 1 photo. For watch face options, Mi Band 7 is the winner. In addition to the official options, there are also many communities-made watch faces available for the Mi Band 7. These 3 smart bands have an always-on display feature. However, the downside of the Huawei Band 7 is that when the always-on feature is active, its raise to wake feature is disabled. We need to tap the screen or press the button to turn on the display. And this is a major turn down for me, and because of this reason, I rarely use the Huawei Band 7. The reason I use always on display is because it looks bad when the screen is completely off. It's like using a dead or broken watch, right? But at the same time, I need to use raise to wake feature to see the full data like the battery capacity, the step counts, and so on. Or simply because I want to see the cool looking watch face, I guess. It will be a pointless if I install watch face or even buying it, but never use it because it's too troublesome to use both of my hands just to see the watch face. And the most annoying thing is when I'm outside where the always on display is not very visible compared to the main watch face. What if I want to check time while riding a motorcycle? Should I do a no hand like a stone rider? Or at least I need to pull over first. So troublesome just to check the time. So Huawei, please don't disable the raise to wake feature when I use always on. It's a shame that one of my favorite smartwatch is actually Huawei Watch Fit, but because of this reason I rarely use this smartwatch. Let the user decide for itself like the Xiaomi products. Connection stability. This is on the tennis court. The Bluetooth status of all three devices is connected. I left my phone here. Then I walk about 20 meters. It turns out that the Mi Band is the only one that's still connected. It can be seen that only Mi Band that received notification. Although not long after that, the connection of the Mi Band 7 also eventually disconnected and the Bluetooth icon became gray. Now the reconnection time. It can be seen that the Bluetooth connection of all three devices is disconnected. This is close to paired phone. It can be seen that the first reconnected device is the Mi Band 7. Let's test sending a message. The second one to connect is the Amazfit Band 7 as indicated by the blue icon. The Huawei is still not reconnected and takes a few moments to reconnect. I tried several times and the results were the same. Let's repeat, all bands are connected. At approximately 15 meters, Huawei was disconnected first. Mi Band and Amazfit are still connected, although Mi Band received notification faster, indicating a stronger connection. As a note, I made sure that the settings for all three band applications were excluded from battery optimization, so they will always run in the background. And before testing, I reopened the applications and did not close them. As can be seen, the Huawei Health application is still active. As indicated, when I tap the app, it immediately enters the menu, not the loading screen. The pros of Huawei Band 7 is that it has a disconnection reminder feature that notifies when the connection is lost. In conclusion, Amazfit Band 7 has the strongest and most stable connection. And the second winner is Huawei Band 7. I know based on tests before, the Amazfit should be the second winner, right? But on daily usage, Amazfit Band 7 sometimes, not always, sometimes disconnect itself and we need to open Zap app to reconnect. I think it's just a firmware problem and actually after the last firmware update, it's better. But still for now, it's better Huawei Band 7 and the best is Mi Band 7. For ease of operation, Huawei Band 7 wins in terms of having one physical button. So if we are inside a menu, we can press the button to go directly back to the home screen. Or if the screen is wet and unresponsive, the physical button can also be helpful. Amazfit Band 7 advantage is having a complete control center of quick settings. It is very convenient for operation, especially for adjusting the brightness level. Huawei Band 7 also has quick settings, but the option is not as extensive as Amazfit. Meanwhile, Mi Band 7 doesn't have quick settings, so it's impractical just to set brightness, set do not disturb or check the connection status, etc. For sport features, all three are sufficient as fitness trackers. The features are not too different, only differing in terminology. And based on testing and comparison, the sensor accuracy is more or less similar. None of these bands have built-in GPS, but for Mi Band and Amazfit, if they are connected to the phone, they will automatically use the phone's GPS to record the workout route. As for Huawei, if we start the workout from the band, it will not automatically connect to the phone's GPS, so we will not be able to record the workout route, unless your phone is also a Huawei brand. But if you use another brand of phone like me and want to use the phone's GPS to record the workout route, we need to start the workout from the Huawei Health app. The pros of Huawei Health app is it has a running training plan. It is pretty useful for the runner. Amazfit Band 7 can synchronize workout data to Strava. I think Huawei Band 7 can also too, but I have never been able to sync it even after I followed the instruction. Meanwhile, Mi Band 7 cannot sync to Strava. Actually it can, but we need to do some tricks first and it's impractical. We already made a video about it, check the description. With the same settings and after several firmware updates, the battery life of all three is similar. They last about a week if always on mode is disabled and 3 days if always on mode is enabled. The pros of Huawei Band 7 is its support for fast charging. With the same charger, Huawei can go from 0% to full charge in less than 1 hour. On the other hand, Amazfit and Mi Band takes almost 2 hours to fully charge from 0%. So we can say that charging time of Huawei Band 7 is twice as fast, which is suitable for those who don't have much time to charge their device. In terms of additional features, the winner is Amazfit Band 7. It has an app store, so users can add some applications besides the default ones. Mi Band 7 can also add applications, but the process is quite complicated, especially after the latest update of Save Life app. As for Huawei, their system is more closed all this time. We cannot add more apps and the available features are less than the other two. Although all the basic and necessary features as a fitness tracker are already available on the Huawei Band 7. A feature that is regretful not available on Huawei Band 7 is the calendar notification that can be synchronized with Google Calendar on a phone. This feature is very useful for productivity. So in terms of features, the winner is Amazfit Band 7, followed by Mi Band 7, and lastly Huawei Band 7. For the length of notification that can be read, Huawei is the shortest. It only supports 400 plus characters. It also feels a bit laggy when read long notifications. And it cannot read emojis at all, unlike Mi Band and Amazfit that still support some emojis, although not all. Huawei and Mi Band have a quick reply feature, while Amazfit Band 7 doesn't. Amazfit and Mi Band have a setting to turn on screen when there's a new message. Huawei doesn't have it, or I couldn't find the setting. Lastly, the Sap app for Amazfit Band 7 and Sap Live app for Mi Band 7 are available on the Android Play Store. However, the Huawei Health app is not available on the Play Store, so it must be installed from Huawei's website, which can be a bit inconvenient, especially for those who are not tech-savvy. In conclusion, which one is the best? Well, there's no clear winner as each one has its own strengths and weakness. In short, if you need a feature for syncing calendars and always on display that works with race to wake, then choose Mi Band 7 or Amazfit Band 7. If you need to sync with Strava and install additional features, then choose Amazfit Band 7. Mi Band 7 has more options for strap accessories and watch faces if compared to Amazfit. If you want something more comfortable to wear, suitable for small wrists, less likely to be lost, and supports quick charging, then go for Huawei Band 7. If you need the quick reply feature, choose Mi Band 7 or Huawei Band 7. Don't choose Amazfit Band 7. I know you might be confused about which one to choose. Well, it ultimately depends on your personal preferences and needs. If based on my needs, the one I use most often is Mi Band 7. The reason may seem trivial to others. I really like this minimalist watch face. I installed it using the Mi Band 7 Watch Faces app. Try searching Igor KH if you want to install it too. We can change the colors to match the strap. And I also very like the always on display. It looks simple yet cool. Another pros of the Mi Band 7 is the wide selection of strap colors and types. The price is also relatively cheap. So the winner for me is the Mi Band 7, even though the screen came off for no reason. I have made a video on how to fix it, don't worry about it. And the runner-up is the Amazfit Band 7. Actually, I also like Amazfit, but the strap color options are not as many as Mi Band, and I don't like the watch face selection. Lastly, the one I rarely use and often keep in the drawer is the Huawei Band 7. The main reason is because they disable trace to wake feature when we use always on display. And the second reason is there is no Google Calendar synchronization feature. It's a shame because in terms of design, I think the Huawei Band 7 is better and most comfortable. It should be remembered that the winner rating is based on my needs. Depending on your needs, Huawei Band or Amazfit could be the winner. So if you have a different opinion, please share it in the comments section. Thank you for visiting Gadagamix channel. Hopefully it can be useful for someone, and see you in the next video.